For our last example on factoring polynomials, we're going to do a polynomial of an even higher degree. So this is a degree 6. And we're going to combine a few of the methods that we've done so far. So the first thing with any factoring of any polynomial is to see if there's a common factor, if there's something that all three terms share, that they're all divisible by. We can see all three of these terms are divisible by 6, and they're also all divisible by x squared. They all have at least two x's being multiplied. So when we factor out, we're going to factor out a 6x squared. Your goal is to always try and find the largest thing you can factor out. We could have factored out a 3 from each of these, but then we would have had to do some more work. Now we'll have it all done in one step. When we factor out that 6x squared, we'll be left with x to the 4th minus x squared minus 2. And again, we can check to make sure that we did this correctly by just distributing. So 6x squared times x to the 4th would give me 6x to the 6th. 6x squared times x squared would give me 6x to the 4th. 6x squared times negative 2 would give me negative 12x squared. So now we have it broken down into two factors. We're going to look at this part right here and see if we can break that down anymore. So this is an x to the 4th and an x squared and a constant. And even though it's not quadratic, we can think of it in a quadratic, similar kind of quadratic way. What we can do, we'll keep our 6x squared here, is we can see what would happen if we had two factors that were both x squared, since x squared times x squared equals x to the 4th. That would mean the middle term wouldn't be linear. It would be this quadratic term here when you multiply these two together and these two together. So again, it kind of is like a sneaky quadratic. It's not a quadratic, but it works in the same way. So we just think to ourselves what multiplies to negative 2 and adds to negative 1, and that's negative 2 and positive 1. We can check quickly to make sure we did that right. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. We'll have 1x squared minus 2x squared, which will give us minus x squared, and negative 2 times 1, which is negative 2. So now we have three factors. However, each of our factors is quadratic. So what we really have is 2, 2, and 2, which is how we have 6 up here. Now, this happens sometimes. It turns out this factor here and this factor here can't be broken down anymore if we're going to stick with whole numbers and real numbers. Eventually, we'll learn what we could do if we wanted to consider maybe some rational, irrational, and complex numbers. But for now, we're just going to leave our solutions like this, since it can't be broken down any further.